right, Lucy. So we had to bring you on because you were once a part of a team and you had a hashtag that said Tom and Gisele forever. So RIP that hashtag because it feels like it is long gone these days. But we'll start by asking before we get into the deep stuff. Do you think Gisele has a reason to be upset here?
I think she does. I think that she has definitely done the brunt of the work over the years. I think Tom made promises to her about his career to her. But here's the thing we have to remember. She retired from being a supermodel, from being the number one in the world supermodel, which she came out of retirement, the only reason for the Olympics. So she had, I mean, arguably in her field, was it a bigger career than Tom Brady in football? I arguably maybe, but she left all of that, left all the possible endorsements, things she could have done for Tom Brady and his career so that she could be with the family. That's a decision they made. But I think that he made a promise to her that he would retire by 45. And he kept pushing that age, I think. Okay, 40. Okay, then he kept being successful at this. So 40, 41, 42, 45. And she, at the Super Bowl, after the Bucs won the Super Bowl, said, how much more do you have to prove? So I think this has been a problem for them for a long time. But here is the big issue for Tom Brady right now. I hate to be the bearer of some shocking news, but Gisele is a witch. This is an issue for Tom Brady. And I worry about Tom Brady now because Gisele is I would say she's a confirmed witch because Brady has said this. He has said she's a witch. In an interview during a charity haircut event, he was talking all about this, this was years ago, all about how she creates these altars for him, how she has him travel with spiritual water and pictures of their kids and to create a little altar. I don't know if he's actually really doing this in his hotel room. It's a little altar for spiritual awakenings and praying for him to win, but it was working. Everything she was doing was working, and she was right the whole time about when it will be his year, when it won't be his year. She was right about all of it. So there's something very concrete here happening, and having gone down the witches of TikTok rabbit hole that I did yesterday, the only solution, as one does, I mean, why not? The only solution to this is that I become a TikTok witch and I counteract the spells that Gisele is now maybe placing on him and Antonio Brown, who I think is part of this too, as a dark force in this matter. So I think what is happening, more so that she's not putting spells on him, but she's taking back her power, is the consensus among us witches that she is taking back her power from Tom Brady. And that's why he looks the way he does. He looks like he has not eaten or slept in maybe a month. He looks not great. My guy is falling apart at the seams now. So I think she is now taking back all her spiritual power and all the prayers and everything she put into his career. And I was like, no, I'm going to take this back and I'm going to put it into my career, because now what we're seeing is a spiritual healer cleansing her car, cleansing her soul. And she's multiple times we've seen this woman walk, TMZ caught up with her and saw her walk into Gisele's house. I think this is a problem because that means they're really done. They are donezo, because if you are getting a spiritual healer to cleanse your car of all the energy of Tom Brady, I don't see how there's a way to come back from that. So they are done, and I think she has a reason to be mad about this and to be done. But I think I would have to side with Tom here, just looking at him and how frail. And I mean, his intentions were just to play football. All he wants to do is play football, and she's trying to keep him down. And I think if that's the case, it's best that they just split up. But look, I mean, I got to be on Tom's side here because of all he's done for New England and for the region. But it's a tough situation. I think it's just splitting is the best way to go. But all he wants to do is play football. Just let Tommy play football. Hashtag that.
So, Lucy, I heard you during that very eloquent explanation say us witches, yes, which seems to me that now you consider yourself a witch. If this is true, are you now going to make the transition from vision board to altar? And what sports-related thing would you wish for if you create this altar?
Oh, no question. Altar all the way. That is coming. The candles are on their way. There will be burning. There will be sage. There will be all these things. The way Tom Brady looks is so bad that someone has to save him. Someone has to. The witches of TikTok unite for Tom Brady. I don't know if they will. I would ask for Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl this season with the Buccaneers, because this has to be worth it for him. To destroy his family for not even making the playoffs would be a disaster. That would be absolutely horrible, because he would regret it for the rest of his life coming back to football for this. So I want the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl, because that would be the ultimate way that Brady could get justice for this and say, you know what, though, it was worth it because I won the Super Bowl, because he chose football over family, essentially over his marriage. At least his kids, you still see him posting the nice sunset pictures with his son saying perfect night, but notably nobody else is there. Notably, he's not mentioning Gisele in interviews, just his parents and his kids. Someone missing there very clearly. So I want him to say at the end of this, you know what, maybe it wasn't all for nothing. So I want the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl, because I don't want this to be for nothing. So I'm going to take on the role of Gisele, and I'm going to have the spiritual water and the whole, okay, Tom, I'm praying for you. And I'll tweet to him and be like, here's your altar, Tom. It might be a little crazy, but I don't know. I think all I will do, I don't want to go full blown with this. And yeah, so these TikTok witches are a little bit, it's a lifestyle. And I think once you're in the lifestyle, if you leave it, this is my concern. There was one guy on there who wronged the TikTok witches and said that they are fake and frauds, and they put curses on him. So there's a whole thing on that. And I don't want to get into the lifestyle and then leave it, because then I might get curses put on me, and I don't want any of that noise. So I think I'm just going to do it in subtle ways. And I want Tom Brady to just, at the end of this, say it was worth it, because I don't want him to regret it for the rest of his life. Because right now, he absolutely regrets coming back to football. I think looking at him and looking at the way his life is going outside of this, which we've only seen in the news. We have only seen in the news what is going on. None of them has said anything about this, but you see Gisele walking into a divorce attorney's office with no wedding ring. I don't know why else you would get a divorce attorney, but it seems like this is real now and this is happening. And the only way to counteract the dark forces is to become a force against them. So that is what I think the path I will go down on will be.
All right, so spin zone, Lucy. You say you're a witch. You say that you have powers to cleanse teams of their bad energy. But Lucy, last week, you posted a very hot photo of yourself wearing a Mets bomber jacket. And I thought to myself, oh my God, the Mets are going to win the World Series. But no, the Mets got swept. And they were not even close to winning the World Series. A first round exit for the New York Metropolitans after getting swept by the Padres. So explain yourself, Lucy. Is this on you?
Yeah, maybe, because unfortunately for the Mets, I did not become a TikTok witch in time for the playoffs. And that was on me. That's on me. I had to take down my banner, my Mets banner, because that's on me. I had to replace it with some Guy Fieri vibes, because we all need those all the time. This, I can't even, though, pretend that I am as upset as a Mets fan who lives and dies season long with this team, because this was a tough one for Mets fans. This was devastating, heartbreaking, because your team, who you didn't know if they were even going to make it to the playoffs at the beginning of the season, they are cynical as all hell. And so then you get to the playoffs, and that's the way you exit. Scherzer falls apart. DeGrom gives up a home run. It's not the end of the world, but still, they weren't lights out. And those were the key selling points for this is a good team. And they just fell apart at the end. And the vibes and the bummer devastation that was going on in that game was heartbreaking to watch, really. So I'm Mets fans, I hope you're doing okay. I'm with you at this tough time. But if you want a team, look at the Guardians. Nice, solid team. Miles Straw, my favorite player ever, to say the Yankees are a classless fan base. No class, worst fan base on the planet. So I'm rooting for the Guardians going through. I do think the Astros will win the World Series, but I'm rooting for the Guardians against the Yankees. This is my favorite series of the entire playoffs. I'm looking forward to this one.
Ooh, let's go Guards. I knew you wouldn't be rooting for the Yankees, because at the heart of this, you are still a Red Sox fan. And we thank you for that. I misspoke. The Mets did not get swept. They won one game in the postseason. Congrats on that one win, Mets fans. All right, we got to get to break. She's Lucy Burdge. She's a BetQL writer. She's host of Back to the Futures each and every Sunday night on BetQL. Follow her on Twitter at Lucille Burdge for more hot girl picks. Lucy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Go Guardians.